What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Maverick Raven coming at you with another one. And today I'm trying to turn two videos into one for your viewing, convenience here. It's Monday, the 25th today, 2024 of March, obviously. And it says here that Trump is going to post $175 million in fraud case after a new court order. A new court order was put in place. They changed the amount that he had due, and this article talks about that. But before we get into that, if you would please like, share, subscribe, comment, do all those nice social media things. Help us out. Join the flock. The water's warm. Let's get into this, shall we? It says the Appellate Division, First Judicial Department of the New York State Supreme Court has granted a stay of enforcement on the $464 million judgment on former President Trump with conditions allowing the Trump Organization to avert having assets imminently seized by New York Attorney General. The order came after the defense attorneys argued a $464 million bond was impossible after having contacted 4 brokers to negotiate with more than 30 companies. Sureties don't issue bonds that big for private individuals, and even if the Trump Organization was a public conglomerate they could issue such a bond to, it would require some $570 million in cash to cover additional premiums. That is insane. Not to mention they've been squeezing Donald Trump for interest every day. Every day that he hasn't put anything in, they've been squeezing him for interest, and the amount has just been going higher and higher and higher and higher. The court's conditions for lowering the bond include President Trump posting $175 million within 10 days and the other orders on the judgment going into effect. The judgment permanently bars former Trump Organization CFO Allen Weisselberg and Comptroller Jeffrey McConney from serving in financial control of any New York business entity. Permanently bars President Trump, Mr. Weisselberg, and Mr. McConney from serving as an officer or director of any New York corporation for 3 years. Bars President Trump from applying for loans from New York financial institutions for 3 years, and bars Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump from serving as an officer or director in New York for 2 years. There was no stay requested for the continuance of an independent monitor overseeing financial matters in the Trump Organization or the installation of a compliance officer, and that will continue. The stay is conditioned on the appeals being done by September. A lot of stuff to unpack here, guys. A lot of stuff to unpack here. It was all pretty much, BS, considering that this was a summary judgment to begin with. A summary judgment. It never went to trial or anything. No witnesses were done in the defense. The judge just basically said, yeah, you're guilty, period, the end. Even though, like I keep going back to Kevin O'Leary, but Kevin O'Leary is the one that said this is how business is done. There's nothing abnormal or crazy about what Donald Trump was doing. No victim either, because Deutsche Bank was paid back in full even with their interest. So what is this money doing? Where is this money going? It's just a windfall for New York, and that's it, because reasons. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. President Trump was attending a hearing regarding the trial date in a separate case at the time, and during the break told reporters he would be posting the $175 million quickly. He also released a statement shortly after the appellate ruling criticizing Justice Engoron and saying that the new order showed how ridiculous his original order was. Yeah, I gotta agree. I have to agree. This is a confrontation between a judge and those that rule above him. A very bad situation in which to place New York State under rule of law, he stated. This is the 5th time in this case that he has been overturned, a record. His credibility and that of Letitia James has been shattered. I mean, it's true, isn't it? That the whole thing has been an embarrassment for New York. Now, he maintained that nothing wrong and that New York should never be put in a position like this again. Dude, that's the thing, right? When you're going into court cases, not only is it important, obviously, for the ones involved, but it's important to remember that court cases set precedent. And precedent is what everything else is going to come, everything else that comes after today, whatever, in the future, they're going to look back and they're going to go, okay, well, in this case, it's similar, and this is how they handled it. You can't really take a case like this and say, okay, well, judge says he's guilty, period, the end, and he's got to pay. Now we're just trying to find out how much he's got to pay. That's what the whole case was about. It was to try to find out whether he literally lied in the paperwork to try to pay less to the government, and anything else that he might have been doing incorrectly with the paperwork, or any type of criminal, funneling of money, assets, etc. That's all this was. It was an investigation for that. with the pretense of, oh yeah, he defrauded Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank wasn't complaining. They never complained. They went on the a representative went on the stand and said, yeah, he fulfilled everything from the loan requirements. So this entire thing has been insane, you guys, insane. And then we go here, so you guys get kind of the point, that the whole thing was fraud. He maintains that the whole thing was fraudulent, which I agree with because it's bullshit. This is coming from the same people that valued Mar-a-Lago at what, 15 million or 18 million, something ludicrous like that. Like if I had $18 million, I would have bought Mar-a-Lago for $18 million. You know what I'm saying? Turn around, sell it for $118 million, easy, I'm sure. But anyways, check this out. Seizure of Trump's properties could backfire, political consultant warns. See, what the left doesn't understand is that the more they persecute this man, the more they're showing that the state, that the government has too much power, and not enough oversight. Okay, New York Attorney General Letitia James filed judgments in Westchester County, where the former president has a golf course, and the Seven Springs estate. So yeah, so they were just going after. She's going after his property, An influential pollster and consultant sounded the alarm about New York Attorney General Letitia James filing judgments against former President Donald Trump in his $455 million civil fraud case. Miss James, a Democrat, filed multiple judgments in Westchester County, New York on March 6, possible to target the former president's assets in the county. The Attorney General who brought the fraud case has signaled that she would move to seize his assets if he cannot pay the fine or launch an appeal in time. That's the whole thing. That's the entire thing. But such a move could backfire on Democrats, and President Joe Biden, said a top pollster, Frank Luntz, during a panel show this past week. Now, he should have a little bit of credibility, I will say. He has been wrong in the past. Who hasn't? But don't take his word as, something infallible. But what he's saying is exactly what most of us have known. The more they come after and persecute Donald Trump, the more they're showing that these are not the people you want to give power. It says, you're going to create the greatest victimhood of 2024, and you're going to elect Donald Trump, he said. Mr. Luntz has been criticized for his 2016 prediction that Democrat Hillary Clinton would win the presidency, but he also predicted correctly that the former president's poll numbers would rise after he was indicted 4 separate times last year. If they take his stuff, he's going to say that this is proof that the federal government and the establishment and the swamp in Washington and all the politicians across the country and the attorney generals and all of this, that this is a conspiracy to deny him the presidency, Mr. Luntz said, adding that the former president is going to go up in the polls just like he went up every single time they indicted him. And it's true, you guys. This is 100% true, especially in the minority community. The minority community, the more they go after this guy, the more they go, man, this guy is just like one of us, So yeah, guys, there you have it. I'm gonna go ahead and put both articles in the description so you guys can read it if you wish. And you know what, guys? Like always, be safe, be good to one another, and stay based.